you love to travel, I know that that's one of my favorite things to do. Personally, one of my favorite places that I've ever been is a small country in Central America called Belize. It is right below Mexico and right above Guatemala, and it's on the east coast of Central America. Today, I just want to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite places in the world and maybe encourage you to take a trip there sometime. Like I said before, Belize is just a small country. It's right on the east coast of Central America. So the eastern side of Belize is all on the Gulf of Mexico. It's beautiful. There's tons of beaches. There's clear, beautiful water. The people there are so friendly and nice, and the culture is very diverse. It's a British territory, so they speak primarily English, but they have, like I said before, a diverse population. Sometimes they speak Creole, they could speak Spanish. There are some native languages that they speak as well. And some of the main exports and main things they grow there are coffee and bananas, which everyone loves. I'd like to tell you today just a few things about Belize to get you started on your trip planning or maybe get you excited about the country. The first thing is about the climate. The climate there is very tropical. A lot of the year it's between 70 to 90 degrees. Usually I would say it's in the 80s to 90s, and they have, instead of summer and winter, they have a wet season and a dry season. What would be our summer is their wet season, and it rains almost every single day during their wet season. During their dry season, it might be a little bit cooler, possibly down into the 70s or 60s, and there's not very much rain. It would maybe rain once a month or even maybe less than that. The weather in Belize, though, is beautiful, and it's a great place to be outside. Which brings me to my next point, which is about the terrain of Belize. Like I said before, the east coast of Belize is all beaches. So there's white sand, there's beautiful tiny islands and bigger islands. Some of the islands are only big enough for a few palm trees. So if you have a boat, you can go out on the water and you can see all these beautiful tiny little islands. Sometimes there's nobody on them. It's like your own island for the day. The western side of Belize since it's a tropical climate, they have some tropical jungles. So they have rivers and caves, different things to explore there. There are specific animals that live in Belize that are jungle animals, like there are jaguars, there's toucans, parrots. There's a special animal in Belize called a tapir, which is kind of like a cross. It's like a big pig that's kind of hairy. I've never seen it anywhere else. They have it in the Belize Zoo, so that's also a very good place to visit. The people in Belize are just really a big mixture. There's so many different cultures there. Some of the people who settled there first were the Mayan Indians. So in the jungles, there are Mayan ruins that you can go and explore and climb on. There are like really big pyramids. There are just small structures. You can find a lot of articles that they used to use to cook, like some clay pots and pans. So there are still Mayans living in Belize, but there are also, when the Europeans settled in Belize, the Spanish explored, so there are Spanish there. And then some of the Europeans brought Africans to come and be labor there. So once the Africans settled, there is a culture of Creole there. And the Creole is kind of a mix of French and English in the way that they talk, but it's just a different culture that's there in Belize. There's also some Quechua Indians in Belize, and they usually speak Quechua, which is just a different Indian dialect. It's not similar to any language that I know. While you're in Belize, probably the most exciting thing to do for me personally is to go to the beach and go snorkeling, since they have such clear water. The fish are beautiful. There's so many tropical fish and coral islands. There's also, on the western part, you can go cave tubing, you can go rock climbing, zip lining. There's just a ton of things that you can do there in Belize. Last but not least, I want to tell you about the food because I know that we all love to eat on vacation. The main staple in Belize is actually beans and rice. The natives will eat that the most. And my favorite dish there is called Belizean chicken or stew chicken. It's a chicken that's boiled with this red spice called ricado, and they serve it with coconut rice and beans and plantains, which are a native kind of like almost like a banana there. So I hope that today you learned a little bit about Belize. The things I want you to remember the most are the beaches are beautiful, the people are wonderful, it's a great place to support with your tourism, and it's a super relaxing, wonderful place to go on vacation.